Daddy, why'd they build all those pyramids? December 24, 2188 AD, chapter 47, Misconception. Are you going to the meeting to hear the Messiah, the Christ? Romy said. I don't think so, he said, but you go ahead and let me know what he has to say. Gans was lying on one of the twin beds in their two-bedroom apartment in the New Jerusalem. There was an electric center complete with TV and computer. The bathroom had a tub and shower. There was daily maid service, and the buffet areas were open 24/7. Nothing was fancy, but everything worked. They were on floor 1401, room 683, 792. They had been out of the city many times since taking up residence there. They went back to Rio at least once a year. There was chaos everywhere. Their house was lived in by several different gangs, but the last few times they'd been there it stood empty. Their cars were long gone. When they had moved to New Jerusalem, they were allowed to bring personal items, but eventually began wearing the white polo shirts and pants or shorts provided them. Without a hat, headband, or wristband with swastika, they could not buy or sell anything, so they took food with them. When they traveled, the air tickets could be purchased in the New Jerusalem, and there were plenty of black market taxi drivers who would take customers anywhere, swastika or not, for a little candy. M&Ms were worth far more than gold in any city in the entire world. Together, Gans and Romy went to visit the Old Jerusalem, which was surprisingly well preserved. Jesus went there yearly for Christmas and Easter services. There was a large highway straight as an arrow which led from the New Jerusalem to the Old one. Rapid hover buses got you from one Jerusalem to the other in 3 hours. It was free to all, as was everything else in the New and Old Jerusalem. Money was not allowed or needed. Well, I want to go hear the Messiah, Romy said. Where is he speaking? Gans asked. Over at Eden, Romy said. I think at 5 p.m. There's a brunch from 10 to 3. Then he speaks out in the New Eden outdoor garden at 5, Romy said. Gans, honey, please come with me, Romy said. No, I think Elisha is speaking up on the terrace floor this evening. Maybe I'll go up there and see him live rather than watching him on TV tonight. You have a good time. Are the kids going with you? No, they got some youth meeting or something. Youth? They're 70 years old now, just like us, Gans said. I know, but they still have the friends they grew up with, Romy said. Yeah, I know, he said, staring up at the TV. The Las Vegas Starships were playing the Sydney Skylarks in Sydney, Australia. Sports had gone fully international, but attendance was down, and sports in general just didn't seem the same. Gans played golf once a week on one of the New Jerusalem's many golf courses. Golf was encouraged, more for exercise rather than enjoyment, but the courses were wonderful, and Gans liked them better than the weight and exercise rooms. Romy now went and sat beside him. Honey, we've been here over 40 years and nothing seems to change. We were promised all those mansions and space travel, but still all we have is this tiny apartment in this godforsaken world to wander. I think there's something better, and I think this Alexander may be the way. Please come along, Romy said, kissing him on the lips. He kissed her back. The spark was still there. No, you go ahead. It will all work out just as Christ pronounced. It's hard to be patient, but it will be worth it. Have fun. He patted her on her still firm rear end as she stood. I will. See you tonight, she said as she zipped out the door. She took the elevator down to the first floor and hopped a bus. As she got on the bus, she heard screams of a flock of blue jays nearby. I wonder what they're saying, she said aloud to no one in particular. The bus driver heard her. What is who saying? He said. Oh, nothing. I just heard those blue jays, she said as she stepped onto the bus. Oh, they're getting impatient. I think the end is near, the driver said. I sure hope so, Romy said. I'm getting impatient, too. She took a seat near the back of the bus and looked out the window. The driver said over the speaker, All aboard, next stop, New Eden. The bus moved forward. She was tired even though it was nearly noon, but she stared out the window at the New Jerusalem. Then she turned and looked at the spectacular gardens around it and the magnificent pearl gates. She continued to wonder why, with such a marvelously appointed exterior, the interior was so drab and common-looking. The bus zoomed over the bridge, crossing the River of Life. The river used to be called the Niger, but now had been transformed into the clearest river on earth. Romy could see the 500-mile-high tree of life, a huge elm. Its two trunks straddled the river. Despite the continuing seasons, it never shed its leaves or its 12 fruits. She dozed off for an hour or so, but awoke to the driver calling through the speaker, "New Eden, 10 minutes." The bus crossed the Congo River, and Romy noted it appeared much the same, muddy and surrounded on both sides by dense jungle. She then saw the New Eden grounds. They were beautiful and rivaled those of the New Jerusalem. But there were some papers flying around and even a couple of overturned trash cans. Soon they were at the massive Diamond Gate. The lights of the city emanated through it. She looked up and saw the New Eden towering above her. It was still unfinished at the top, but it soon would be completed. It was supposed to be some 500 miles taller than the New Jerusalem. The entry line was not too long, and after she got her black hat with swastika on it, she headed for the elevator off to the left. She could have chosen a black wristband or headband instead of a hat, but she thought the hat would look cuter. It did.